Good morning. We just wrapped up a 6-mile speed workout, 1 mile warm up, 3 miles, 6:55, 1 mile marathon pace, 1 mile, 6:45. Good morning. Welcome to another YouTube video. Now, if you're anything like me, dialing in the winter is a piece of cake, right? You got Thanksgiving, Christmas. Yeah, those are some holidays that might throw you off track, but for the most part, you're not so busy in the winter that you can't lock in. Like, you can really dial in. Now, you're dialing in for the summer, right? That's the whole idea of locking in. And then you start to enjoy yourself. And now we're past 4th of July. We're on the other half of summer, and things might have loosened up a little bit. But that's okay. That's balance. That's why you want to live a healthy body, so that you can do these things that you want to do. And yes, it's not great for your gains, but that's the whole point. But we got to tighten it up. So in today's video, that's what I'm going to talk about: how to get back on track after the fact. I know that I always preach about like how great morning workouts are for yourself and productivity and blah blah blah, but man, lately I have been not loving them as much. Morning runs feel so great after the fact. Morning lifts do too, just not to the extent. Both of them, getting yourself going so freaking hard, and a lot of that, I think, when you fall off track, getting yourself back to your routine of grinding just is very difficult, and you have little motivation to do so. So you have to be disciplined enough to get yourself back on that routine. And then once things get in motion, they tend to stay in motion. Let's talk about getting back on, getting back on the horse is drinking, right? Back being on the wagon is cheering for a team. Getting off the horse. So, all right, let's talk about falling out of routine, falling out of your diet, and falling out of the grind and getting back to it. Something so hard, because getting started is so hard, but getting started, stopping, and starting again is even harder. And it's such a mentally challenging thing, and I used to struggle so much with my eating, right? I got I got anorexic, and then that leads to a whole different cycle of binge eating. And then I remember so clearly having a perfect week, having the perfect diet, and then one day just absolutely slipping and eating thousands and thousands and thousands of calories and really hating myself and feeling so gross. And then it turns into a vicious cycle of not eating anything the next day to make up for the overconsumption the day before. And then, you slowly start to clear out. You start to feel back to normal because you've limited your calories so much. You've been training twice as hard to make up for it. But then you go back into that cycle and you binge again. And then it's just a constant up and down and restarting, and it gets so mentally draining to get yourself back in the groove. There's one thing I've learned from my experience of disordered eating in the past, which, it's always going to be there. It's not like you ever just solve it, but you do get better at managing it, and it doesn't become such a big part of your life. And I know in the back of my mind, there's always these whispers over, you can't eat that, you're eating too much of this, and you start to quiet it, and it doesn't control you as much. But the key thing that I've learned is when you mess up, when you fall out of your routine, when you miss a couple workouts, when maybe you were lazy, maybe you even went to the gym and you just didn't push yourself as hard as you normally do. You show up that next day and you're hating yourself. It's okay to not be so happy with yourself. It happens. That's a part of life. But you don't want to drastically just go into overtime to make up for it. Yes, your weight's going to be higher. Yes, you're not going to feel your top tier shape. You might feel a little slow. You might feel lethargic. You might have some brain fog. That scale is going to be heavier than what it normally is, but don't panic. Panicking causes this to happen at bigger and bigger scales and to happen more consistently. Accept what it was. Enjoy what it was. Be okay that it happened. Frame it in your head that, hey, I wanted this to happen. I am okay that this happened. I didn't restrict myself. It's a part of this game of life. Now I'm just gonna get back into my routine. I understand the first few workouts, my first few days, I'm not gonna feel my best, not gonna feel my sharpest, but over time, you'll get back to your homeostasis level and all will balance out. You're not gonna ruin a diet. You're not gonna ruin a program by slipping up one day or even one weekend. And if you try to counteract it aggressively, that's when you ruin it, because then you're gonna get into that cycle. And you gotta get it out of your head that you screwed up. You gotta get it into your head that this is what I trained for, to enjoy life, and this was a part of life that I was enjoying. And it might not be a big party barbecue event. It might just be that you were sitting at home watching a really great movie and you just wanted a big dessert and you ate 2 pints of ice cream and a bunch of cookies. That's also living life in my eyes, but it's okay. Get back on your routine. Just go back to the way it was. Don't overcompensate. You make it too difficult, you drain yourself, and you just spin your wheels. I've learned that. I've experienced it. It's gonna be okay. So I worked all day today to make money, and in the same day I spent every single dollar that I made. I know everybody hates it growing up. You hear it all the time, but I hate it so much. Buying gas, just dollar after dollar going into this tank. I worked all day to then have to spend money on gas, and then I'm getting a haircut and spending more money on that. And then in South Carolina, they have a rule that you have your vehicle, which is technically property. So once a year you pay that property tax. So a big chunk of my money went into there. And so basically, just working my tail off just to be. Not even to buy things that I want. I guess I could grow my hair out, but can't look shaggy. So another day, working all day just to be. Also, I forgot to mention, I had to pick up dry cleaning on my way home today, because for some reason, if you buy expensive shirts, it's way more expensive to wash them, and you can't wash them at home. You have to pay, I don't even know. I dry cleaned 4 shirts, $40. I remember growing up and it being like $2 or $3 to dry clean a shirt, and now $10 a shirt. I mean, 2 of them were Tommy Bahama short sleeves, but for some reason my vacation feel good loosey goosey going out shirts, I gotta dry clean. I gotta spend $10 on dry clean. I just had $1,000 day today. That's ridiculous. I worked all day just to spend my money on things that aren't for fun. I feel like money, you should work to make money to spend it on food and fun. The 2 F's, food and fun. And most of the time, food is fun. Why do I gotta pay car taxes? Why do I gotta pay to clean my clothes? Who makes these rules? another life hack that I'm gonna share with you. If you are feeling out of routine, if you are feeling like a slob, like a mess, I used to hate it as a kid. I hated it. And now I love it because I feel so clean from it. I feel back to good form from it. Getting your hair cut. We just wrapped up getting ours chopped. I used to go as long as I could without a haircut before it looked like a mess. And now I like to go, they're kind of expensive, honestly, so I go more like 4 weeks. But when I find a barber that's a little bit cheaper, I really like to go every two to 3 weeks. Just a little cleanup, like your hair's really not growing that much within 2 weeks, but you feel so much sharper with the clean cut. When your hair's raggedy, when you haven't been hitting the gym, when your brain feels like mush because you have done nothing to help it, you fall apart. Part of getting back on track is feeling good, and small things like getting a haircut help. What a way to end a perfect day. What a way to get myself back on track. Ending it with the little ocean dip. Worked out, worked all day, haircut and an ocean dip. We're right back at it. And it's annoying when you fall off track. I mean, it really is. You beat yourself up so bad, but always just remember that time moves really fast. And that's good, because before you know it, the problems you thought you just had, you're not even gonna remember. And that's bad, because if you don't keep making progress, you'll quickly get way down the wrong road and realize what the hell happened. So soak it in, get back on track, think big picture, do what you can, and when you can't do it, figure out how to do something else the best you can. And with that, I'm gonna jump in the ocean. Call it a day. Thanks for watching another video. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Don't worry, just keep making progress. Catch you guys in the next one.